Hey, this is Noah. I had an article pop up for me, not necessarily leaking a character, but instead leaking some information. Information regarding why some characters were not included. Essentially justifying why something didn't happen. Namely, why Geno was not included as a proper fighter, and why Sora was considered but was not included. But there's a detail about it that threw me off. In short, basically, they have mixed feelings about including Geno because Super Mario RPG doesn't seem to have a whole lot of support. Now, let's get more in depth with that and why I think this is ridiculous. Supposedly, according to this leaker, they think or have said that Nintendo hesitates to let Nintendo characters become Smash characters. What they mean by that is the idea that a Nintendo character would be added to the game and become more known for their appearance in Super Smash Bros. Than for their own series, and suggesting that the reason why Geno didn't make it into the game as a proper playable character is because no one seems to want a follow-up to Super Mario RPG, either in the form of a remake, remaster, re-release, or a new game. And that infuriates me. What do you mean, if we're going to believe this, what do you mean? They don't want a Nintendo character to become a Smash character. Captain Falcon! Huh? Fire Emblem at first was like that. Like, who knew what a Roy was? Captain Falcon has not had a proper F-Zero game since, like, the Game Boy Advance, and it was a Japanese only one, I think. Like, I don't understand. And you know what? In the era of, like, Nintendo's kind of awful, I almost believe this. And in that regard, I sort of disagree with it, because if you have a character and you put it in Super Smash Bros. And maybe they haven't had representation in a while, hey, use that, right? Like, Pit in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, what's a Pit, right? But then they made Kickers Uprising. People were like, oh yeah, I know him, I've seen him in Super Smash Bros. Cool, right? Like, that's how that works. People justify that junk all the time. You know, whether or not it has any actual basis is up in the air, but we cannot deny that, at least in the case of Fire Emblem in Melee, it did. Nobody knew what Marth and Roy were in the West. They didn't exist. It is undeniable that even if they do get known as Smash characters, Nintendo has to be aware of that. I mean, in the re-release for Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon, they literally start their announcement with like, hey, remember these guys from Melee? Like, that's really out of character for what I would expect from them. So I refuse to believe that that is actually a thing. And to be fair, they said, using a bigger word that I don't remember off the top of my head, they hesitate to. So, not to suggest that they wouldn't already, but I would wonder why they wouldn't. Maybe the way they think about it is like, okay, if we're gonna add a character in who hasn't, like, had representation in the form of a new game in a long time, we need to be careful who we pick, because we could be placing our bets on a character that's gonna pop off, and then later we can give them a new game, and it'll be crisp. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if when they added Pit to Brawl, if they already had plans in their minds of making Kid Icarus Uprising. I wouldn't know. I'm not a leaker. But I like to think. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe this is going to be like the Smash reveal, right? Like my computer's glitching out and then like something's going to pop up on the screen and it'll be great. If I had planned that is not planned, by the way, that is just doing that. If I had planned that in advance, maybe it would have been funny if like I could do a meme here where I go like, oh, and like something actually shows up. Anyway. This is Noah. That's the Smash logo, which actually looks pretty good. Kind of flushed out on my camera, because my camera sucks. It kind of looks neat, because it looks like it's actually glowing. Thank you for that horrible timing. Okay, anyway. That's the Smash logo. So yeah.